Hi.
Coach Logan, Coach Abby. We're going to be talking today on how to choose a weight to use for your exercises and working outs. So, first of all, a few things that you should always be aware of when choosing a weight. There's a checklist you need to go through. You need to make sure your form is good, your tempo is good, your range of motion is good, and you're feeling the muscles that you're supposed to be utilizing and working on working. So if you're doing a bench press and you're getting full range of motion, able to get that bar or dumbbell all the way down to your chest, you feel a good stretch and activation in your chest, then you can consider adding weight. Activation, spell check. Real life spell check.
Check.
Cool. So having all those things in mind, then you're able to, based off of a rep range that has been given, whether that be 10 to 15 reps, 20 to 30 reps if your coach is evil, whatever it is, then you can start checking and picking which weights are best for that movement. So you have all these things in mind, everything's in order here. You're going through a dumbbell bench press to keep that example still there. You're able to get up to 15 reps, perfect tempo, great form, range of motion, feel it in your chest, but you feel like it could be a little bit light, feel like you could do more, then go ahead and add weight. Challenging. I'm here, I'm in suspense too. I don't even know what's happening. Challenging weight. So repetition, making sure that it's a challenging weight. On the other hand, it's okay to drop weight if you chose a weight that was too ambitious. No one's gonna think less of you. There's no reason for ego lifting. So going down, as long as you're getting good range of motion, good activation, good tempo, all those things, you can easily drop weight as well if you're not able to get within that rep range. So that is for external loads or loads that have a rep range, repetition that you're trying to actually load up yourself. For body weight specific things, a term we like to use pretty often is Submax. It can be annotated as SM. So, what do you want?
Green.
Green it is.
Thanks.
So SM meaning submax reps. So usually there's a maximum effort and there's a submaximum effort. Submax effort is still maximum effort, but with all those rules we talked about before being applied. So form is good, tempo is good, range of motion is good, and the muscles that you're supposed to be using are being activated accordingly. So SM, submax, going as long as you can. So an example of this would be pull-ups. If you're doing pull-ups, perfect tempo, good range of motion, activation, all those good things, then you just note the repetition that you're able to do, keeping it submax. The ways that a coach would progress that is just by having you do more, having you have more tempo, better range of motion perhaps on a chest to bar versus a regular chin over. So it just depends. For static holds. So static holds, y'all's favorite, wall sits, anybody in the world, split squats, dead hangs, planks.
I'll write the next one from here.
You won't do it.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna talk really slow down. So static holds are something that are good for stability, just overall joint positional help. So static holds, the best way to progress those is with a little bit more time. If you're doing them to your best maximum effort, maintaining good form, range of motion, tempo, whatever's all set, I don't think you can maybe see like this high. You're gonna sink out of frame. But if you're able to do well with all those things, all that accordingly, then getting a little bit more, even a second, even 2 seconds, even 3 seconds is a little bit better. So progressing that stuff is how you would choose, but you wouldn't be able to actually add any weight unless with static holds, your coach gives you something that makes it weighted. So you are definitely gonna do less time if you add weight. Just have that in mind, but depending on what is actually programmed and set for you, then it could be applicable. Nothing stand up now.
No more notes.
No more notes. So in synopsis, when choosing a weight, play around, figure out what works best for you. It might be stronger than you think you are. You might be weaker than you think you are, but you don't know. So figuring it out based off of good form, good tempo, good range of motion, and good activation. Allow yourself to play around within that rep range, and don't be afraid to call a set a warm-up set if you really didn't feel any of those things. So 10 to 15 reps, and you did 15 and you feel nothing, call it a warm-up set, increase your load, and then kind of go from there.
It's like adding salt to your food. You can always add more, but can't take it back.
Or you can take weight back.
True. Well, figuring out the right amount to start, I guess.
On that terrible bombshell.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah. All right. Comments below if you guys have any questions.
About that metaphor.
About that, yeah, definitely about that metaphor. Or if you have any ways that you progress or think about progressing, let us know.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.